This is Dante Williams, and you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
This is Showtime Sean Porter. Filipino Flash, Jesse Burgers.
This is Al Bernstein. You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Hi, I'm Sugar Ray, Chick Shape.
Sergio, the last name,
Dante's Boxing Nation. Boom, 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 boom.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder.
My name is Gennady Golovkin.
And you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
Hi, this is Julian Jackson, and this is Dante Boxing Nation.
This is Julia Jackson, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. All right. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? You know, I always tell you about the double standards that exist in the sport of boxing. And I tell you guys about the comments, the ignorant comments that prove everything that I'm often saying when I speak the truth. Now, there was one comment in particular that really caught my attention because, once again, this comment just proved my entire case. This was like another bloody glove, right? A bloody glove that actually fits, not one that don't fit, if you know what I mean. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm about to make a video about this comment in particular. Let me read exactly what this Dcaf had to say. Quote, "Stop bringing up Ward. He's a bum, inactive son of a bitch. SOB." That's what he said. And within about 19 hours of this comment being up, he had about 9 likes. No one really explained why they liked his comment. It was just likes. You know how that works. Now, the first thing I want to say about this comment is this guy who posted it, he doesn't know anything about Andre Ward or even Gennady Golovkin. He knows nothing about them personally, right? So why would you be calling Andre Ward and his parents a bunch of bitches? Why would you say something like that? It's a rhetorical question because, of course, I know the answer. But you know, what's so funny about the whole situation is these decafs, they will often be filled with so much hate that they'll accidentally let out the whole truth and they don't even realize they're doing it, right? Because they're trying to hold it in. But man, when that hate, when that blood starts boiling, that shit starts pouring out. The hate starts pouring out. Now, as much as I hate the dark clouds of hypocrisy that surround this sport of boxing, one thing I do enjoy is when these decafs do most of my work for me. Let's get into really deciphering this message and what it is really telling us, because it's telling us a lot. You know, you just got to have that third eye to understand it. Now, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the pattern in the sport of boxing, but since Floyd Mayweather has retired, if you guys have noticed, the hate has transferred from Floyd Mayweather to Andre Ward. The guy who had been sitting at number 2 for like the last, 2 years, right below Floyd Mayweather. He was like the vice president. Soon as Floyd Mayweather retires, Andre Ward takes his place. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, you have Manny Pacquiao, who was receiving all the love. Soon as he is on the decline, that love is transferred over to Gennady Golovkin. Right? You guys see the pattern, right? Now, what this guy's message tells us, very clearly, by the way, is that all of the hate that was directed towards Floyd Mayweather, it never had anything to do with his personal life. That was all a lie. In fact, I'll prove it to you right now. Outside of Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather being black and being American, what do they have in common? They don't go to the same strip club, right? We don't see Andre Ward burning money. Andre Ward, he doesn't have any court cases pending right now. Not any where he's, possibly going to go to jail. There is absolutely nothing that Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather have in common. And yet, Andre Ward is dealing with the same type of hate that Floyd Mayweather was dealing with. How do you guys make sense of this? I know how I make sense of it, and any damn person with a brain who ain't got no bias-ass agenda would know exactly what this suggests. These are code words. That's all these are. A bitch. These are all code words. Because there's something else this guy really wants to call Andre Ward. But if he does that, then he looks like the bad guy. So what he has to do is he has to create code words. This is what we often see in our society today. I can't call this person what I really want to call him, so I'm going to call him a bitch. I'm going to call him a runner, a chicken, a coward. I'm going to call him a Muslim. I'm going to call him a socialist. I'm going to call him boring. I'm going to call him arrogant and cocky. And the list goes on and on and on. We know what time it is. There is nobody right now who can give me a perfect explanation for why this man should have called Andre Ward's parents a bunch of bitches. Right? You gonna call this man's mama a bitch? Man, you gotta be low down to say something like that. What does it have to do with boxing? What does it have to do with boxing? Why do you think these fans are still using this inactive excuse when Andre Ward is now active? You notice that? They are clinging on to that because that's the only thing they have. A lot of this stuff is therapeutic for these guys. They have to find a way to cope with Andre Ward being a threat. And that's how they cope with it. Calling Andre Ward inactive is equivalent to calling Guillermo Rigo boring. They will say that Guillermo Rigondeaux is still boring even after he just got 2 knockouts back to back. And his last fight was against a damn Goliath that was really fighting at a much higher weight class, but he came down to take the Rigo fight. He was like 6 foot tall. And this guy knocked down Guillermo Rigo. It was a candidate for fight of the year. Guillermo Rigo was pushed to the limit. He dealt with adversity on some Rocky Balboa type shit. Got knocked down, came back and stopped that guy. He was in there with a machine that night. And yet they still call him boring. Because it's therapeutic. And once again, they can't say what they really want to say. So they have to use code words. I want to go ahead and read another person's comment. Now this guy right here got pretty deep when it comes to defending Gennady Golovkin versus Andre Ward. Let me read what he had to say. Quote, "One thing I've learned in the sport is it is biased as hell due to racism, and no one has to say it blatantly. But when people downplay GGG or act like he should immediately jump to Ward, that tells me the deep thought of what a person really feels inside. It's a sad, shameful country we live in." End quote. That's pretty deep, ain't it? So in short, this guy believes that anyone that wants Golovkin to fight against Andre Ward is a racist. Flat out, they're racist. It's not about Golovkin beating the pound-for-pound champion and proving that he's the best in the world. It has nothing to do with that. This has something to do with racism. Matter of fact, this all is about racism, is what this guy is saying. So the first question I have for this guy is, how come nobody is calling Gennady Golovkin's mama a bitch? How come no one is calling Golovkin's daddy a bitch? Right? How come no one is calling Golovkin a bitch? How come when Golovkin calls out the much smaller Floyd Mayweather or even Canelo Alvarez, I see no retaliation of people saying, fuck you, Golovkin. You're a bitch. You're a son of a bitch. Right? I see no comments like that. Something else I would ask this guy who posted this message. How is it racist if you want Golovkin to fight against Andre Ward, but it ain't racist if you want him to fight against Carl Froch, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at the same weight class? In fact, Golovkin was willing to fight them at a higher weight. He wanted to fight Ward at a lower weight. So how is it possible that it's not racist when he wants to fight against Froch? When Golovkin wanted to fight against Froch, everybody was saying, oh man, I want to see that, right? Shit, you even had ESPN's Dan Raphael jumping up and down praying that Golovkin would fight against Carl Froch. And then when Froch decided to retire, Dan Raphael started calling Froch a coward, basically, in so many words, sending tweets like, why don't you take the fight, etc., etc. But yet no one was saying that fans are racist because they want Golovkin to move up in weight and fight Carl Froch, who is probably stronger than Andre Ward. Does that make any sense? To the person who wrote that post, does that make any sense to you? Either you want to be the best or you don't want to be the best. When we watch football, we watch it ultimately to see who's going to end up being the best in the league that season, right? That's what this is all for. This is building up to something big, to see who the best is going to be. You're going to sit here and tell me that it's okay for you to move down and fight a welterweight, but it doesn't make sense in your mind to move up and fight the best fighter in the world at 164 or 168? It doesn't make sense. Guillermo Rigondeaux, he wanted to prove that he was the best fighter so badly that Nonito Donaire, even with Donaire being naturally probably 20 pounds bigger than Rigo, when Donaire was at 118 along with Rigo and Donaire decided to move up to 122, you know what Rigo said? He said, wherever you go, I go. You know why? Because that was the guy closest to Guillermo Rigondeaux that the media and the world in boxing were calling pound for pound, top 3, one of the best fighters in the world. So Rigo had to get that guy in the ring. He had to. Okay? And when he fought Donaire was 20 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds bigger, way bigger than Rigo. And Rigo dominated the fight. How come Golovkin can't do this, guys? How come Golovkin can't do this? You know what's really crazy about this whole situation? When Ward was calling out Golovkin, and keep in mind, Ward didn't start calling out Golovkin until Golovkin said, I'll fight anybody from, what did he say? At first, I believe he said 154 to 175. And then it went down to like 154 to 168. That's when Ward and all the fans start saying, okay, well, fight Ward. He's the best. What do you want to fight a guy who Ward already beat, Carl Froch? Why don't you just go straight to the top? How is it possible that when Ward wanted to fight Golovkin, you fans tried to create a distraction by saying, well, and change the subject by saying, you know what, why doesn't Andre Ward fight against Sergey Kovalev? Well, guess what? Andre Ward, he did just that. He signed the contract to fight against Sergey Kovalev by the end of next year. So how is it possible that while Gennady Golovkin calls himself the Mexican-style fighter that loves big drama, right? And fans are eating that shit up. They're saying he's the toughest, he throws caution to the wind, he's gonna beat everyone, etc., etc., etc. But yet it's Andre Ward who's willing to take on the toughest, the most dangerous challenge. How is that possible, guys? How is that possible? You know, I tell you guys all the time on this channel, it's only in the sport of boxing that the matador is often chasing the bull, right? It's almost always this way. You look at Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Leo Santa Cruz. You look at Golovkin versus Andre Ward. Another thing about Andre Ward is, now that Andre Ward is actually attempting to do what you fans said he should do, why don't you go fight Kovalev? Now Andre Ward is doing that. Why isn't Andre Ward receiving the same type of respect that you guys are giving Golovkin, if not more? If you really care about big drama. Okay? Because let me tell you something. Ward versus Kovalev, the drama gets no bigger than that. It gets no bigger than that. I'm sure all of us would agree that Ward versus Kovalev is way bigger drama than Golovkin against David Lemieux or Willie Monroe. You guys would agree with that, right? So why are you not giving this man his respect? I mean, even from the time that Andre Ward was calling out Gennady Golovkin, how come people couldn't just be honest? You know, like people are often when I talk to them on the streets. I tell you guys, this is why I don't like to, really post too many comments and stuff like that, because there's way too much ignorance on the internet. It's too easy to remain anonymous and just jump into people's conversations and be all ignorant and say stupid shit from racist shit to silly shit. You know what I mean? It's not realistic. I like the real shit. You know what I mean? Talk to me the way you would talk to me, face to face, eye to eye. It's so funny that whenever I go on the streets, whenever I go to these boxing gyms and interview professional boxers, trainers, promoters, whatever, 99% of them say the exact same thing. Andre Ward is a better fighter than Golovkin, and he will beat him. Every once in the blue moon, you'll hear someone say the only person that can challenge, Golovkin is Andre Ward. Even Ruslan Provodnikov, who is also Eastern European, even he said that the guy that will challenge Golovkin is Andre Ward, right? You damn near got one of your own countrymen saying this. You have all of these professional boxers that have actually been in the ring and are still in the ring agreeing with everything that I've been telling you guys. But it's only the ignorant ass fans on the internet that have something totally different to say. Guys, instead of talking about someone's father and their mom and calling them a bitch and all of this, instead of doing all of that, why don't you guys just be honest? Why don't you just type something with a little bit of honesty every now and then and just say, look, man, Andre Ward is a great fighter. He would probably beat Golovkin or have a very good chance beating him. I don't want to see my guy fight him. If my fighter has to be second to Andre Ward, I'm okay with it. Just let my fighter keep his undefeated record. That's all I want. How come you guys can't just come out and say something honest like that every now and then? Instead of calling a person out their name. Instead of giving them fucking the credit that they deserve. It doesn't make sense to me. It never made sense to me. Going back real quick before I end this video to the comment that this guy made, the first comment, calling Andre Ward a bitch and all of this other stuff. You know, boxing is a lot like gangbanging. You know, what does a blood call a crip? He calls a crip a crab, right? What does a crip call a blood? He calls him a slob. You know what that means? That means you don't even have to know that person, and you already got your mind made up what you think about him. And coincidentally, in that scenario, it's all based on color, right? Blue and red, or blue versus red. It doesn't matter if that quote-unquote crab is doing all type of positive things in the world. Maybe for his family, for his friends, maybe for black people, maybe for his country, his city, whatever. He could be making any type of contribution to something that's positive, and no matter what he does, this blood is going to declare him as an enemy based on the color that he represents. It's a lot like boxing if you think about it. You calling this man a son of a bitch. You calling his mom a bitch. Because your mind is already made up that that guy is your enemy. Right? He's inactive. Ward can fight 4 times this year. They're going to say, oh, well, he didn't fight that many times last year. See, the Dcaf's philosophy is not to make sense. They're not trying to use any type of logic. It's the contrary. What a Dcaf wants to do is he wants to create chaos, confusion, and distractions. He wants to deviate away from the actual point and try to convince himself and everyone else that no matter what this guy does, it's negative. So we have to keep hating this guy, right? That's what this is all about. Guillermo Rigo knocks out 2 people back to back. They still call him boring. Code words, man. Code words. All that gay talk you guys see on the internet, man, that is just code words. Those are code words for what they really want to call you. Like I said, calling someone, like if you try to call somebody gay, they was doing it with Floyd Mayweather, right? Now, if I say something, if I say the same thing that the trainer Nacho Beristain said, Nacho Beristain, who trains one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time, Juan Manuel Marquez, right? He's one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time. Now, when Nacho, he praises the shit out of Floyd Mayweather, says that he's the Michael Jordan of the sport, simply the best. And he says this while he's training his fighter to fight Floyd Mayweather. How? That's even a bigger compliment. Because it was one time where Floyd Mayweather actually walked over and shook Nacho's hand in a press conference because Floyd had heard how much Nacho was praising him. Okay? He praised him before the fight, during the fight, after the fight. Now, because Nacho Beristain he has his Hope insurance and he's covered. He don't have to worry about nobody calling him a dick rider and you gay sucking Floyd's cock. They ain't gonna say that about him because he ain't on a coincidental list. Oh, but let me say it. I ain't got that damn insurance. So they gonna go ahead and go in on me, right? Calling me all type of names, etc., etc. Once again, it's just like the Bloods and the Crips. If you chilling with your blood homie, and and one of your blood homies tell you, yeah, that Crip dude, believe it or not, he's actually really a good person, man. I mean, guy plays football, he's about to go to college, and yeah, man, he's a really good guy. That blood gonna look at you like, what the hell wrong with you? You like crabs now? Sworn enemies is what they are. He's saying you some type of crab lover now? This is what they call you when you say something about boxing, right? When I'm sitting over here exposing racial double standards, if I'm telling you, why is it, when Floyd Mayweather is fighting Cotto toe to toe, he got a bloody nose. Now, when Floyd Mayweather got a bloody nose and looking like he's in a fight, everyone laughing at him. They saying, oh, look at he getting his ass beat. Ha ha, look at his bloody nose, etc., right? Then when Floyd Mayweather goes to boxing and he doesn't get hit, now they want to say, oh, he's a bitch and a coward. He doesn't want to get hit. That's why he fights like that. Safety first, etc., right? Because what they're telling you is no matter what you do, you're the enemy. We are sworn to hate you. That's what they're saying. Because if it was about boxing, they would have said, oh, you know what? Before I didn't really care too much about Floyd, but after I seen him go toe to toe with that big young kid Canelo, when I seen him fight on the ropes on some Ali rope-a-dope shit with Miguel Cotto, I had a lot of respect for him. But they don't do that. They don't do that. Because it has nothing to do with what happens inside of the ring. It has everything to do with what their mind is already set to think about that person. All that gay talk. And the whole gay thing is, once again, like I said, just a big ass cover up. People try to say all this, oh, you gay, you talking Floyd and this, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you something right now. When you hear people talk about dick riding and all that on Floyd, they try to make it seem like this shit is about Floyd, but it was never about Floyd. And we know that from the first comment that I read to you guys. It was never about Floyd. It was about Floyd being on the coincidental list and being a threat. That's why people try to associate you to being gay just because you talk boxing and you say this Andre Ward guy is good, and hey, I would like to see Golovkin fight this guy Ward. Now we getting all this ridiculous gay talk, stuff that has nothing to do with boxing. Meanwhile, Oscar De La Hoya, someone I do like and really, really respect. And I'll tell you this real quick. Whenever I see Oscar De La Hoya, I never, and I know everyone around me, all the media people who sit around him, no one is ever thinking about what Oscar De La Hoya does outside of boxing. All we care is what he does for the sport that we love, right? I don't give a damn what Oscar is doing outside of boxing. Just do your job as a promoter. That's all we care about. But at the same time, we do know what Oscar De La Hoya has done outside of his life, right? We've seen the pictures. We know that there's a possibility that, he's bisexual or whatever you want to call it. But I don't give a damn about none of that, because I only base this man on what he does in the ring. Oscar could do whatever the hell he wants to do outside of the ring. That's his business. But you notice, and this is not really about Oscar. I'm talking about these ignorant type of fans. I'm trying to get you guys to see the ridiculous double standards and the contradictions. They'll sit over here and call you gay for wanting Golovkin to fight Ward, right? Or because I say the same thing Nacho Beristain said about Floyd Mayweather. But if that fighter, promoter, or trainer has his hope insurance, then he completely covered. Because the fans will never say you gay for saying something good about Golden Boy Promotions. We don't never see people responding to other people's comments and saying you're gay if you believe that Oscar De La Hoya puts on the best fights and etc. etc. I mean, we seen Miguel Cotto putting on pink socks and pink underwear, pink shirt, whatever, throwing his leg all over his assistant's lap, laying in the bed with him and doing all that kind of stuff. But yet we don't really hear anyone saying, if you say anything positive about Miguel Cotto, that makes you gay. This shit only works one way. And that's when fighters who are on the coincidental list are relevant in the sport. The massive hate started with Floyd Mayweather. It got passed down to Andre Ward. After Ward is going to get passed down to fighters like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. And it'll just keep going down the line. And they'll just keep covering it up with all these fancy ass code words. But it don't matter, because at the end of the day, it's all about boxing. It ain't about none of that other stuff. See, social media was a necessary evil. It helped, but it also hurt the sport. Because you have so many ignorant, racist people and all type of other ignorant people that now has a platform to push their ignorant agenda. And I'll tell you guys something else to look out for. You know, when it comes to fighters like Terrence Crawford, you know, he's not dealing with the hate right now. The reason why Terrence Crawford is not dealing with the hate right now, because he hasn't been in the ring with a fighter that these Dcafs are in love with. That's when the hate starts. If you guys notice, this is when the hate started with Andre Ward. No one was really saying anything bad about Andre Ward until he called out Gennady Golovkin. You notice that? That's when the hate starts. They don't care if you're beating up, you know, names that they don't care about, guys that aren't on the coincidental list. They don't care about that. It's when you beat one of their own, one of the guys that they want to protect, one of the fighters that they want to keep undefeated. That's when the hate comes in. That's all I got for now. I'm on to the next one.